Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer. I want you to imagine something for a second. Picture waking up one morning and discovering that an entire village has just disappeared. And I'm not talking about a place wiped out by a natural disaster, or, a town that was slowly abandoned as people just packed up and moved away over the years. No, I'm in a place that is simply, entirely gone, overnight. That's exactly the mystery we're unpacking today.
I mean, what if an entire village really did vanish overnight? It honestly sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi novel, right? But this is the very real story of a place that, honestly, many believe never wanted to be found in the first place. So this happened decades ago. Travelers used to speak of this incredibly quiet village hidden deep between thick forests in a super remote mountain region. And get this, there were literally no roads leading to it on any official map anywhere.
Now, what makes this mystery absolutely mind-blogging is the sheer scale of it. 300 people. Despite having zero official roads or map presence, local shepherds and traders swore they'd visited this valley dozens of times. And they confirmed that around 300 people lived there, just completely peacefully. I mean, think about that number for a second. Erasing 1 or 2 people, that's a crime scene. But erasing 300 people without a single trace, that's a full-blown phenomenon. So the whole mystery actually kicks off with something totally mundane, a routine winter delivery. One winter, this merchant makes the grueling trek through the mountains, arriving exactly as he usually did to drop off supplies. He was fully expecting to be greeted by this bustling valley of 300 familiar faces he'd traded with for years, but when he finally crested the ridge and reached the valley, well, he instantly realized something was horribly, terribly wrong. He walked into this impossible scene that was just perfectly suspended in time. It's like someone hit the pause button on reality. The houses were all still standing, absolutely no sign of destruction, but all the doors were left wide open. And honestly, this is the most unsettling part. Food was sitting out on tables, plated, exactly as if families had just stood up right in the middle of eating dinner. There was even a fire still actively crackling and burning in one of the fireplaces. Everything looked totally normal, except for one glaring detail.
There wasn't a single person, nothing. Literally no people, and 0 footprints. When you break down the facts here, it completely defies logic. There were no signs of a struggle anywhere, no bodies found. Even the livestock and pets, completely gone. And remember, it was the dead of winter, right? There was snow on the ground, yet there was not a single footprint leading away from those wide-open doors. Just this absolute deafening emptiness.
So how did the aftermath of this actually play out? Well, on day 1, you've got the merchant's chilling discovery, and that obviously sparks a massive response. For weeks, literally weeks, authorities conducted these exhaustive searches. They're questioning nearby towns, they're combing through miles of thick forest, but they found absolutely nothing. So the years pass, and nature slowly starts reclaiming the empty homes. Which brings us all the way to today, where modern hikers are still reporting some pretty strange anomalies out in those ruins.
Actually, scratch that. Let's jump back to that initial search period for a second, because there was this deeply unsettling detail I can't skip. The human authorities who investigated were just completely baffled by the lack of evidence. But when they brought in tracking dogs to search the woods, those dogs had a visceral reaction. I mean, they flat out refused to even cross the village boundaries. They just started barking uncontrollably and then practically dragged their handlers right back out. It's like the dogs sensed something there that the human investigators just couldn't. Which brings us to a massive logical hurdle. You see, some investigators naturally assumed, okay, maybe the villagers just packed up and fled together. But you really have to ask yourself, why on earth would an entire community leave all their stuff behind? If 300 people decide to make a run for it in the dead of winter, they're going to take their coats, right? They're taking their animals. They're definitely taking their food. They are absolutely not leaving their doors wide open with dinners half-eaten and fires still burning. The whole fleeing theory just doesn't line up with the physical evidence at all.
And this is right where the investigation takes a hard left turn into the unexplained. A few witnesses from neighboring areas actually came forward with these totally bizarre reports from the very night before the disappearance. Not only did they see strange lights hovering above the valley, but some elderly witnesses absolutely insisted they heard this loud, deep humming sound echoing through the mountains. So we've got mysterious lights in the sky and a hum so loud it literally carried across the entire remote mountain region.
Decades later, this mystery still hangs super heavy over the area. Even today, modern hikers venturing into those reclaimed ruins report experiencing the exact same phenomenon. Some claim they can still hear faint voices being carried by the wind. Others report seeing strange lights moving through the abandoned streets well past midnight. And the most chilling part of the whole shebang? Whenever anyone is brave enough to actually try and follow those moving lights, they just vanish, right into the darkness, leaving the hikers standing there completely alone in the middle of the freezing forest.
Okay, so this leaves us with three prevailing theories as people try to wrap their heads around this. Now, you know us, we're not picking sides on this explainer, but it is super fascinating to look at how people rationalize an event that literally erased 300 people without a trace. Theory number one, was this some kind of secret government experiment? I mean, an unmapped, totally isolated village is basically the perfect testing ground. Theory 2, was it a bizarre natural phenomenon that no one understood at the time? Or Theory 3, was it something far, far beyond human explanation? When you factor in the hovering lights, the humming, and the complete lack of footprints in the snow, you can see why so many folks naturally lean toward the supernatural.
So I'm turning this one over to you guys. Looking at all the crazy evidence we've covered, the untouched dinners, the terrified tracking dogs, the strange anomalies in the sky, what do you really think happened to the missing village? Drop down into the comments and let me know your theory. And hey, if you enjoy unpacking these wild, enigmatic stories with us, make sure to hit subscribe to The Mystery Teller, because as we always say, every mystery has a story, and every story hides a truth. Keep questioning the unexplained, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.